Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to highlight something pretty scummy that Ubisoft did regarding Assassin's Creed 3. The remastered version just came out a couple days ago, and that's the only version of the game that you can buy now. Now, should that be an issue? Not inherently. However, the issue is that Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered is priced at $40. So yes, if you want to play Assassin's Creed 3 now, you have to pay a full $40, and it's not like the remastered version looks any better on PC. It really looks the same. Some comparisons even show that the game looks a little worse. I want to talk a little bit about that. And speaking of Ubisoft, Anno 1800 is the next Ubisoft title that will be an Epic Game Store and Uplay exclusive. The Steam version is still up there, and you will be able to pre-order the game up until the game being released, but after the game's released on April 16th, the game will be removed. So we'll cover that, and also Generation Zero, an open world title from Avalanche Games that I was very much looking forward to. It's been pretty poorly received. We got an update from Avalanche, so I do want to take a look at that. It looks like they're gonna remain committed to the game, so that's good. Unfortunately, it looks like they also have paid content coming to the game, which is a little bit of a head scratcher given the negative reception. I think you really should be focusing on making the game better through free updates, but nonetheless, we'll talk that. First up, Assassin's Creed 3. You can no longer buy the original release of the game that came out all the way back in 2012. The only way to get Assassin's Creed 3 on Steam now is if you buy the remastered edition. Inherently, that wouldn't be a problem if the remastered edition was priced well, but bear in mind that if you're spending anything over $10 on Assassin's Creed 3, you're really ripping yourself off. The game is so old, and when it does go on sale, AC3 would be like $6 and change, I believe. I believe that's the typical price that Assassin's Creed 3 goes for. Very rarely do Assassin's Creed games fall below $5. That's just something I've noticed. They don't even hit $5. Usually, Ubisoft keeps them at $6 and change when they go on sale. I think Assassin's Creed 1 is the only game that'll hit $5. Outside of that, $6 and change is the cheapest you're gonna get them for. But nonetheless, now if you want to play Assassin's Creed 3, you gotta buy this remastered version, which really, it's not anything better than the original release, and in fact, they took out the multiplayer component in the AC3 remastered. Now, is that a big deal? No. It's not like anybody was really playing the multiplayer in AC3 still, but they took out the multiplayer, they re-released the game, and they're charging $40 for it, and you can no longer get the original game that when it goes on sale, it'd be like $6. Now, I should add that AC3 Remastered does also include Assassin's Creed Liberation Remastered, and it does have the DLC content for AC3. Either of those being included, I don't value at it much. Assassin's Creed Liberation is a pretty terrible game. It was originally a PlayStation Vita game, and it's not up to the standards of an Assassin's Creed game, and I just think that game is pretty poor. I would not recommend you guys to try that game, but it does come included, and you do get the DLC, so I guess that's cool. But even for someone like me that owns a copy of Assassin's Creed 3, usually when they release these remastered, sometimes, yeah, they'll take away the original release. But if you do want to upgrade to the remastered version, and I say upgrade in quotes, again, it's like the same game, they'll give you a little bit of a discount. But in this case, no, I don't even get a discount on the game. They want me to pay $40. I mean, I'm not going to pay $40 because I already own the game on PC. For those of you guys that want AC3 on PC now you're forced to pay $40. And God knows that Ubisoft is probably going to keep this game priced high on PC for a while. And God knows Ubisoft is probably going to keep this price relatively high for a while. I mean, I don't see it dropping below $20. And even then, $20 for Assassin's Creed 3? That is way overpriced. I don't care if you give me AC Liberation. I don't care that all the DLC content is in there. At least give gamers the option to buy the original release if you're gonna obscenely price this game. Now, this was done in the past. It's not like Ubisoft is exclusively the only ones doing this. This happened with Dark Souls Remastered, and that was a big issue, because Dark Souls Remastered kind of broke a lot of the elements of the game, and I do believe this was done in the past. However, when it's done in the past, usually you would also get a discount if you own the original game on Steam, and you would get it for, say, 50% off. We don't even have that option. AC3 is already completely overpriced with this remastered release, and the original release was removed from Steam. So this is clearly a move to just make more money. I believe the original release was removed on Uplay as well, so it's not like this is exclusive to Steam, but that's just bad. Come on, and I feel like more people need to be aware of this. More people need to call Ubisoft out for this, because that's a pretty scumbag move. But moving on from that, speaking of Ubisoft, Ubisoft's next Epic Store exclusive will be Anno 1800. Now, this will be an Epic Game Store and Uplay exclusive. This game was already listed on Steam, so this is an instance where, yes, they're using Steam as a platform to promote themselves, and then they strip the game away from Steam. In this case, at least they're going to continue to let people pre-order the game, so if you do want the game on Steam, you can pre-order it from now until its release. On its release day on April 16th, it will then be removed from Steam. That doesn't really make it a lot better, but hey, it's better than the game just abruptly being removed from Steam. We know that Ubisoft is in bed with Epic, so a lot of their future games are probably gonna go this route, and for them, this is best case scenario. They get upfront money from Epic Games, and they get to drive people to their own platform of Uplay. The only people that lose out are the gamers that want their games on Steam, and even if you do buy a Ubisoft game on Steam, it has to go through Uplay. I just like to have all my games on Steam. I like to get Steam hours, Steam trading cards, so for me, it's a little bit of a bummer. But for Ubisoft, this move is genius. Epic Games literally gets nothing out of it. I mean, who really is gonna go to the Epic Game Store to buy a Ubisoft game so they can then use the Epic Game Store and go through Uplay to play that Ubisoft game? Nobody's gonna do that. I actually wonder how many copies of The Division 2 were sold on the Epic Game Store. Probably not many. You know how many copies of The Division 2 were sold directly through Uplay? Probably a ton, and in this case, they're getting all that money. They get to keep all the money now. Valve has been cut out, and more people are just driven to Uplay and now are using Ubisoft service. This is an absolutely genius move by Ubisoft, and I think the numbers showed that there was like a 6 times in sales increase on Uplay for The Division 2, because in the past with The Division 1, they probably bought The Division 1 on Steam, but now they're going to Uplay directly. Nobody probably went to the Epic Game Store, and Ubisoft still got the upfront money from the Epic Game Store. What a genius business move this is. All the stars align for Ubisoft to strike a deal like this, and they are making out like bandits. Steam's getting stifled, Epic Game Store really isn't getting anything, and us, the consumer, can't buy some Ubisoft games on Steam anymore, which is a little bit of a bummer. But from Ubisoft's standpoint, this was a golden opportunity. Honestly, I can see why they did it. I just don't want to see their games from here on out being promoted on Steam. I do fully expect a game like Watch Dogs 3 to be announced at E3 or at some event, and I do think that game is going to end up being an Epic Game Store and Uplay exclusive, and in that case, everybody's going to go buy that game on Uplay, and Ubisoft is once again going to make out like bandits. So from their standpoint, this was a really good business move. For us, it kind of sucked. And lastly, I was talking quite a bit about Generation Zero ahead of its release. Unfortunately, that game didn't turn out all too well. I believe the game has a pretty mixed reception on Steam right now. And if you look at the Metacritic score, I think the game is at like the mid-40s, which is really, really bad. But nonetheless, it does look like Avalanche is going to stay committed to Generation Zero as they put out this statement. What we want you to know is this: the Generation Zero team is passionately committed to making this world bigger, better, and even more exciting. With a mix of both free and paid content, you can expect intense new PvE challenges, more ways to modify your loadout and style of play, terrifying updates to enemies, expansions to the story, and of course, bigger hair and even more radical thread. But for now, most of our focus is on collecting information and prioritizing and fixing the bug reports from all of you. We've made good progress so far via 2 PC hotfixes and 1 Xbox patch deployed since launch, with further updates coming in the future. We've also heard several common points of feedback that the community agrees on so far, and we're already digging into how to make improvements such as machine behavior or clearer co-op progression outside of the above mentioned bug fixes and future content that we've planned. We aim to incorporate community feedback into our plans so that we can make the improvements you want to see. Generation Zero is a game that I was so excited for, and I was really disappointed for the game turning out the way it did, because this is a self-published Avalanche game, and I believe this was their first one, and that's so important to make a good first impression, because I feel like this is a game that Avalanche is going to be associated with going into the future. Of course, they are most known for Just Cause, and that franchise hasn't been that great recently either. Just Cause 3 had a lot of issues, but more recently, Just Cause 4 was just a disaster of a game. Avalanche is staying busy. They're going to continue working on Generation Zero. We know that they're helping out with the release of Rage 2, and they're working alongside id Software. I think that's a match made in heaven, and they could do really good stuff with id Software and create a compelling open world in Rage 2, because id Software is going to nail down the first-person shooting mechanics. But right now, the focus should be entirely on fixing the game. Don't even mention paid content until well down the line. That's just the little thing that kind of annoyed me, but I get where they're coming from, and obviously they are focused right now on making the game better. So I'm gonna keep my eyes on it. I had such high hopes for it. I like Avalanche as a studio, and we'll see where Generation Zero goes in the future. But that's gonna conclude this video. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Assassin's Creed 3, the original version being delisted on Steam. Now you gotta buy the remastered version, and it costs $40. Yes, it includes AC Liberation. Yes, it includes the DLC. But $40 is still way too expensive. Anno 1800 is the next Ubisoft Epic Game Store and Uplay exclusive, and it looks like progression will continue to be made on Generation Zero. That's going to conclude this video. Again, let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you guys got a request for a future video, leave that in the comments as well, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.